Hello everyone, and welcome to another game of World of Warships. Today's replay is from Rook, and he is in the Akizuki, a tier 8 Japanese destroyer. He is on the map Northern Waters in an epicenter game. It's a tier 8 battle, so that's lovely. He's top tier, there is no carrier, there is no radar. Well, there is a Z-23, so there might be some awkward hydro. Now, he's made it here to the center circle and he's currently contesting it. There is an enemy in here too, which is unsurprising. There is this nasty island here in the center that serves as pretty good cover, unless one team pushes the flanks very far. And it looks like he has found a first target to shoot at. But the thing is anyone... Yeah, exactly. The problem of course is he was the one spotting. There isn't really anyone else who can see this Pensacola. So... well, he has nothing better to do, so he's trying to blind shoot something. And oh, he's actually torpedoed an enemy destroyer there. Now, of course, with his smoke, he should definitely be expecting torpedoes coming this way. I mean, if the enemy destroyers didn't have an idea where he was before, now they definitely know where he is. Now, he's reversing here. He's also thinking a little bit. I mean, he needs to have his rear pointed towards any potential incoming torpedoes, especially since, you know, we now know that there was a destroyer right there, so torpedoes coming exactly this way is what you should expect. And there are the torpedoes. And this is going to be awkward. Or maybe, you know, he gets away with it. But definitely, right in a situation like this, you should be expecting torps coming your way. So, he survived this so far. Nothing really has happened. I mean, this one torpedo hit was pretty lovely, I suppose. And considering that's 15,000 points of damage against probably one destroyer, that should put the enemy destroyer on very low health. Now, there is a smoke screen there, but it's blocked from this island. He's trying to get some angles there. I'm not sure if that will... I mean, whatever's in there could leave, I suppose, and sail this way. Now, he shot here, I presume, in order to see if he gets detected, but honestly, that's a very risky move, right? Now, the enemy isn't that close, but you definitely don't want to be detected here in this center. And it looks like he doesn't even have the skill that shows him how many ships aiming at him, so he doesn't know how many enemies paid attention. I mean, if you'd had to see a number of 1, if it's only the Pensacola, then it would be fine. If there was like a 6 or something, and you definitely know you don't want to get spotted around here. So, he's trying to engage the Icarus now. Of course, Akizuki is a pretty decent gunboat, and there are the torpedoes, so he should be fine. Now the Icarus is smoking. Of course, it's not a very big smoke. Maybe he can still get some hits in there. Or maybe he can't. Now... oh, the Icarus is leaving. Well, that simplifies things, I guess. His own smoke screen is ready, so he can disappear if needed. Once again, I don't know, maybe I'm just so used to the skill, but that makes me uncomfortable not knowing how many ships are aiming at you, because it really determines how you want to react, right? If there are very few ships aiming at you, you can get away with a lot more. If there is a very high number, then you know you definitely need to smoke up, things like that. The way that Mars is moving, I presume there will be torps. Now, the Mars has been taken out, and he probably assumes there are torps too, because he is moving forward here. Oh, those torps didn't look too bad against the enemy DD there. Well, so far no torpedoes have been spotted, so he is reversing. There's a T-61. I don't know if the T-61 is running a hydro. If he is, then we would know that there are no torps coming. But I guess it's figured right now. Enough time has passed, torpedoes are probably not here. Now some blind shots into this smoke because nothing else is in range. And now he's setting up his own torpedoes. And RPF just switched, so something is coming that way, but he's still trying to get his torps off into the smoke. I mean, you know, might as well. It's not like any spotted ship is close enough for torpedoes. So, but what is he tracking right now? It's probably the Z-23. Now, Z-23 has a hydro that you have to be concerned about. It's not yet as bad as like a Z-52, but still. I think Z-hydro is about 5 kilometers at this tier. I'd have to check. Like the German destroyer hydros are not something where I know the range by heart. I mean, I know that the tier 10 has 6 kilometer hydro. I wouldn't be surprised if like the tier 8 had about 5 and maybe the tier 9 5.5. Now, he was hydroed there, but a little bit of reverse just got him out of this. And he's currently camping, so oh, yeah, the set is definitely pushing this way, it looks like. Once again, he doesn't actually know if anybody is aiming at him. He knows he's detected, so it's just sitting there not knowing if shells are coming. Is well, let's just say ballsy. You know, let's unlock the camera, look around. Like, there are a lot of ships that could shoot him right now. And he isn't even looking their way. So, by the way, the set has approached, and that set has made a mistake, right? This set was trying to do some smoke hydro shenanigans, but he just sailed out of his smoke and got dragged for his trouble. I guess he succeeded in baiting the enemy set. But honestly, there were so many ships that could have just shot at him and he was just sitting there, so he got very, very lucky that the enemy team didn't pay any attention. Now, so far, each team has lost 3 destroyers per side. And, well, I mean, mostly battleships are remaining for both sides, I suppose. Because there weren't that many cruisers to begin with. Now, of course, if you're in a destroyer and you see mostly battleships remaining, you're very happy. He got detected there, so he's popping this last smoke screen and he's just decided to go farm the Leon. Now, there won't be much spotting for him, because, you know, he's the only destroyer left. The thing is, of course, battleships, you don't necessarily need that much spotting, I suppose, if you're engaging battleships, because most likely they're going to be visible anyway, because they have something that they shoot at, and their smoke detection range is pretty bad. Now, Leon has been taken care of. Next target is a Bismarck. He still has 1 minute of smoke remaining. We don't actually see that many enemy ships, but the Bismarck disappears. But you know, you can just switch to the Bayern. I mean, there should be enough battleships remaining, and at least one of them should be visible, right? Right now, this is looking pretty good. The friendly team has they have 2 circles, although they might be contested. Points-wise, it's looking good. Caps-wise, it's looking good. Ships-wise, it's looking good. The friendly team has everything going for them. Now, there is not that much time left on the smoke. Honestly, after that smoke, I would go towards the center and try to spot and farm the Shinonome. Like, as I've said, there are a lot of battleships left on both sides. And battleships are... well, they are not faring very well against torpedo destroyers, I suppose. Especially since the friendly team is moving in aggressively, which I like, mind you. The friendly team is all inside the circle. If they had a ship stationed in the outer ring, it would be rather nice, because the enemy got that now. Now, currently, Rook is doing it himself. He is in the outer ring and he's stopping the progress, but, you know, I really would have liked him to go after the Shinonome. He can obviously gunboat down that thing rather easily. He would help his team not get torpedoed, and he would take the last stealthy cap away from the enemy team. But, you know, it's looking good. He just wants to farm some damage here, I guess. Now, since he's out of smoke screens, all he can do is torpedo stuff and open water gunboat. He also doesn't have any torpedo reload boosters ready yet. The torpedo power of the Akizuki is a bit lacking, of course. I mean, it's a gunboat, so that's to be expected. And he could have just stayed behind this island, I guess, and gotten a few salvos in, although the Nagato is already sailing away. And so far he just keeps chasing and farming the enemy. Now of course the friendlies currently don't have anything in the outer ring anymore, so the enemy will gain a few points, but well, we don't know where the Shinonome is. Do the friendlies gain points? Yes they do, so he's not in the most inner circle, I guess. And oh, I think the Pensacola is taking interest. That Pensacola is, I think, the only enemy that really is trying to shoot him, and has been for the whole game, right? When he has been spotted, I think this Pensacola has been paying attention, so good job there. But the enemy battleships, mostly they don't care. I guess the Nagato got fed up with being shot at, but other than that, the enemy is like, you know, destroyer, who cares? Yes, that's a good place to be in. Now the friendly is actually only one ship ahead currently, so you know that could still easily switch, although it's a very low health enemy there in the center, I think. And you know, friendlies are getting pretty close to the points victory. Now at this point the friendlies could just hold position here in the center and farm them, but once again, you know, Shinonome is still pretty dangerous torpedo wise. Like if you are a battleship and you just sit here in the center and then maybe do the long range engagement, you are a rather easy target for torpedoes. And if you push in, you're also a rather easy target for torpedoes. Now of course you don't want to retreat in a situation like this. I guess the friendlies do have a Bismarck there with possibly Hydro, maybe the Miyoko with possibly Hydro. And I mean, currently it's what, 7 ships against 4? Friendlies have almost double the ships, they have the points, they have the caps. And Rook just decides, you know what, let's continue farming this Nagato. I still would have loved if he'd hunted the Shinonome by now. Especially since he even has RPF going for him, you know. And, you know, meanwhile the enemy Pensacola has been sunk. And the Pensacola has been the only thing that really tried to sink Rook, so he can get away with anything right now. See, even the Nagato that's being under fire is like, well, who would shoot destroyers? I mean, they're tiny boats, you know? Maybe it feels bad for them. Now, the enemy team is pulling the ships back a bit. It's 4 again. Like, the friendlies only have a 1-ship advantage right now. Now, Rook got some torpedoes off. I mean, with the enemy kind of sailing away. Oh, the Bayern has finally decided to shoot him, I guess. But you know, if the enemy sailing away, he didn't have any good targets for torpedoes for a while now. And so Nagato is burning nicely and going down rather quickly. And RPF just switched, so he's finally tracking his Shinonome. And maybe he can take care of that, which would protect his battleships. Well, his last remaining 3. And there is the Shinonome. And the Shinonome was on so low health all this time. Hey! That's dealt with. And ooh, that was a... Oh, and that's top... No. Well... That was a bit of a problem there. I don't know. If it steered more towards the left... Did he stop steering there in the end? Did he just decide he couldn't? But I mean, that was a bit unfortunate. That one torpedo was basically coming for him. For his nose there. And there goes the Sinop. And suddenly it's a 2 versus 2. Now the friendlies have, despite the fact that the friendlies have basically been inside the caps the whole match, they have now decided to just give them up. It's 2 Bayern against a Bayern and a Bismarck. But the health advantage is on the friendly side. Now, of course, those Bayerns need to angle a little bit. And you know what? Let's speed this up a little. It's definitely still in anyone's game. It looks like they are focusing a bit. I mean, they should be focusing down this Bayern first. Bayern is... Yeah... Did he miss? Like, does he keep missing that Bayern? I mean, come on, guys. It's... Yeah, he missed again. And he missed again. Oh, how can it be with this Bayern? Oh boy. This is suddenly ending in a defeat, isn't it? Come on, sink the Bayern at least. You can do it. Yeah, that escalated quickly. And you know, this looked like a battle that's almost impossible to lose, but in the end the friendly team managed, which is kind of a bit of sad. Now, Rook did an amazing job, and he was instrumental in sinking all of the destroyers, I guess, but if he'd hunted down that Shinonome a bit earlier, I think it would have been an easy win for the friendlies. I guess, you know, it looked like such a sure victory that he was like, you know, let's just farm some damage, have some fun. But unfortunately, in the end, it was a defeat. Now, Rook earned himself the Confederate Kraken, doing 135,000 points of damage, sinking 6 enemies, and unfortunately, it just wasn't enough to win this battle. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching it, and I'll see you next time.